Today you will witness a mysterious history that few know. The story of this city sets it apart from all other stories that have ever happened. Lost, forgotten, it was home to many civilizations. And finally became the home of the Turks, at a time when everyone says they don't remember, that they have forgotten. His story has come to life again through the Bible and the Quran. An important part of history was written here. Now, if you are ready, we are going to this mysterious city. It has hosted countless civilizations. It has hosted different cultures and beliefs. How many people died because of the arena and the incidents? Even though it is history now, I am opening the doors of the city that has always been the most curious about the events that took place. Ephesus. The history of Ephesus dates back to 6000 BC. It has turned into a city over time, with migrations from Greece starting with the Hittites. Architecturally, it has been demolished and rebuilt many times over time. Under the control of Alexander the Great and his commanders, it was transformed into what it is today. Did you know that the pharaoh, Cleopatra, killed his own sister here? Mary, the mother of Jesus, lived here. That most of the Bible was written here. The Ashabi Kef, also known as the seven sleepers mentioned in the Quran, lived here. Did you know that one of the seven wonders of the world is in Ephesus? Sit back for these and many more mysterious, surprising events and more. Now let's explore the city of Ephesus together. You are looking at the most magnificent theater of antiquity. This magnificent theater seats 25,000 people. This theater has witnessed every event you can think of in Ephesus. Political meetings, rallies and protests, demonstrations, entertainment games, and even gladiatorial fights were organized. Who knows how many gladiators have lost their lives in the shows and games organized? Now it's the turn of the Celsus Library. Right now, it's just a showpiece sculpture in the wall. But in its time, there were more than 15,000 books. At first glance, these 4 female statues represent wisdom, virtue, destiny, and knowledge, respectively. Imagine that thousands of years ago, lawyers, students, politicians, and scientists were here, and who knows what they discovered and accomplished in this library. Although Ephesus is located in Turkey with its unique beauty, there is a situation that is known by very few people. The sculptures and artifacts you have seen are replicas, that is, imitations. The originals were gifted to the French Joseph by Sultan Abdulhamid II in 1896. These artifacts were taken to Vienna, where they are still exhibited today. The city of Ephesus has a special importance for Christians. The biggest reason is that it is believed that Mary, the mother of the prophet Jesus, lived here. At that time, the prophet Jesus had been arrested by the Jews for his work for Christianity in Jerusalem and sentenced to death by crucifixion. When Jesus is on the cross, he entrusts his mother Mary to John, her favorite disciple. The words of Jesus on the cross are quoted in the Gospels as, "O woman, here is your son, here is your mother." Mary and John stayed in Jerusalem, and after a while they left and came to the city of Ephesus, which today is located in Selçuk, Turkey. The city of Ephesus has a very glorious history and is very valuable for that period. The people living here worshipped Greek gods and had pagan beliefs. In addition to this, Christianity was secretly spread with the Jewish apostles, and their numbers were not small. A large number of visitors to Ephesus believe that the Virgin Mary spent the last years of her life here, worshiping in the forest on Mount Bulbul near the city of Ephesus where she lived. Christians visit the house and church of the Virgin Mary here and fulfill their pilgrimage duties. It has been considered a holy place by many Christians because even the popes visited here. And what do you think? Did the Virgin Mary really live in Ephesus and die there? John, the apostle of Mary, was repeatedly arrested and tortured while trying to spread Christianity in Ephesus. He was forcibly pressured and sent into exile. However, after a while he returned to Ephesus and wrote the Gospel of John, an important part of the Bible, here. He spent the last days of his life in Ephesus and died at the age of 100. The Basilica of John the Baptist, located in Selçuk, Turkey, and built in the name of John, can still be visited. Now we dive deeper into the mysterious world of the Ephesus. In short, we're just getting started. One of the legends of the city of Ephesus, which has hosted countless events in history, is the Seven Sleepers. 7 young people from the rich families of Ephesus leave their pagan beliefs and choose Christianity. Then they receive a death sentence and take a dog named Katmir with them and take refuge in a cave by fleeing from Ephesus. When they come to the cave, they feel tired and fall asleep. When they wake up and go to the city to buy food, something terrible happens. Because these 7 children slept for centuries. This cave can still be visited near the city of Ephesus. There are also caves with the same name in Tarsus and Nakhchivan. It is not known which one is real. However, the fact that Ephesus is important for both pagans and Christians, and that many events took place here and that its name is mentioned in the Bible, seems to confirm that all these events took place in Ephesus. The Temple of Artemis, considered one of these 7 wonders of the world, is also here. Cybele, known as the greatest goddess of this region, was shaped in the city of Ephesus. Antipater of Sidon, who determined the 7 wonders of the ancient world, said the following words about the temple. I saw the walls of Babylon the proud with the road for the chariots. I saw the hanging gardens with the statue of Zeus on the Alpius. I saw the colossus of the sun, the colossal workmanship of the high pyramids and the magnificent tomb of Taurus. But when I saw the house of Artemis on the clouds, all the other wonders lost their luster, and I said, here outside the Olympus the sun has never looked at anything like this. In the past, pagans used to come to the temple and fulfill their pilgrimage. The Temple of Artemis is as sacred to pagans as Mother Mary is to Christians and Mecca is to Islam. Today, only ruins of the temple remain. The Bible tells of a silversmith who made pagan statues. This silversmith starts a revolt in Ephesus when Christianity starts to spread in Ephesus. He gathers 1,000s of people in the theater you see now and makes them revolt. He thinks that if Christianity spreads, this will affect the economy of Ephesus badly. Thanks to his rebellion, he ensures that a large part of the Christians are expelled. The words of this person are mentioned in the Bible as follows. O Ephesians, who does not know that the city of Ephesus is the guardian of the temple of the great Artemis, and of the sacred stone that fell from heaven. According to this information, there was a meteorite here, or Artemis was built where the meteorite fell. The reason why the Ephesians were so attached to this goddess could be that this stone came from the sky. Imagine that 2,000 years ago a meteorite falls next to this temple in Ephesus. What would you do? Would you believe as they did? Ephesus has hosted very important geniuses and leaders in its time. Here is one of them, Alexander the Great, who is considered one of the 3 greatest military geniuses in history. No one could stand against Alexander the Great with his achievements in Anatolia and eventually came to Ephesus. Since she believes that Artemis acted as a midwife during her own birth, she values the temple of Artemis, organizes entertainment here, and wants to cover all her expenses. There is a condition for this. He wants this favor to be written on the temple. Although the Ephesians do not want this, it is not easy to refuse the request of someone like Alexander. In the end, they give Alexander a political answer. How can a god build a temple for another god? Then Alexander abolished the tax he had paid to the Persians and asked that this money be used for the temple and left the city. Ephesus was a wonderful port city where the fun was always going on, and 250,000 people lived together in the colorful streets. Another interesting activity was the public toilets that existed thousands of years ago. While being cleaned with constantly flowing water, they would also socialize with each other by having long conversations. The known name of the section where the rich people lived in Ephesus is the slope houses. They had underfloor heating, ornate walls, and baths. Tourists who want to visit this place also have to pay an extra entrance fee. When it comes to Ephesus, the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, gladiatorship, and it has an excellent value in terms of world history. So much so that some of the most famous gladiator tombs in the world are here. The reason why these are important is that they are very well preserved. What made gladiators so special was not only their strong looks, but also their good health and endurance. Contrary to popular belief, research on the bones of Ephesian gladiators shows that they were vegetarians rather than meat eaters. This view is confirmed by many studies today. University research suggests that grain and fiber foods reduce physical fatigue and strengthen bones in the body. Are you surprised that gladiators ate a diet of grains and vegetables? We all know the world-famous Nike sports brand, but did you know that the name Nike was named after a famous goddess in Ephesus who had the ability to run fast and fly? The footprint and face in this video is one of the first billboards in history. This billboard supposedly shows the location of a brothel in the city. There were several brothels opposite the Library of Celsus. Now there are underground passages connecting the brothel and the library. The flirtatious men of Ephesus would tell their wives or girlfriends that they were going to the library, but in reality they were going to the brothels through these passages. Ephesians were a bit flirtatious. Another interesting case. Hidden in a tomb in the center of Ephesus. Once upon a time, the skeleton of a woman was found whose skull had disappeared. Recently, Dr. Haidt Tor opened the tomb and examined previous photographs of the skull. The result was that the woman was black. Cleopatra's sister, whom he had killed in Ephesus, was a black African woman with the same father and different mothers. What we understand from this is that even though the Ptolemies, the dynasty of the last pharaoh, Cleopatra, were of Greek origin, events show that they were hybridized over time. Imagine how this would have resonated in history. Ephesus was one of the most important cities in the world for thousands of years in history. As you can see, it has hosted many events and adventures. Over time, the port of the city was filled with alluvions from the Meander River, and then the city was occupied by the Gotii tribes from Scandinavia. In the following years, after the Arabs dominated the region, it gradually lost its power and importance. Finally, with the occupation of the Agan Oğlu Principality, Turkish sovereignty was permanently established. The importance of Ephesus is incomparable to other ancient excavations. Despite all this work, only 20% of the city has been uncovered, and new areas are being discovered every day. If one day you happen to be in this unique city, remember what I have described here and visualize the atmosphere. You have watched Vista Culture. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Instagram account you see on the screen. See you soon.